Good morning. Good morning. It is Saturday morning. I have got my coffee, and I thought we could take just a couple minutes to chat a little bit about some yarn and crochet and some like cool stuff we have got going on. So, I do love hearing how your morning is, so let me know. I have got just my regular coffee, and I'm gonna be honest, it is pretty dark outside. It is starting to sprinkle, so I do hope that this does work out and I continue to have my internet and power and everything. So I am super excited. I did have a video out and also a short where I was talking about this yarn right here, and it's the latte stripe from Super Saver Stripes. And I will do a video on it, but I am working on several other of the same item to put together for a video, but I'm going to stand up just a little bit here. It's just like a little shrug with some sleeves. So it was really easy to work out. And good morning. Thank you. So it was really easy to work up, and I don't know if this is like a fishnet stitch, but it's literally just double crochet chain. So it works up super quick, and I like how breezy it is. I think this is going to be like a really good option for the summertime. So I can still have a little more coverage, but I could throw a tank underneath here if I wanted and just kind of yeah, get a little more air. But I'm in love with the colors, and it probably seems a little more like a fall color, but I really don't even care at this point. So I thought I would, maybe get to show it off this morning. Are you in danger at all, Erica? Like, do you have a hurricane bearing down on you? Yeah, there's a lot of things I think I would love about Florida, but yeah, hurricanes. And then what else did you say? Uh, I'm not sure what a love bug is, but it sounds like it's probably gross. We have cicadas up here, which are nasty. They are giant and loud and gross. So, ugh. We have mosquito season pretty bad here. Ah, I've got another Iowan here. So Dream a Little Dream is from Mount Pleasant. Hello. Is it dark and gloomy in Mount Pleasant? Hi, Sydney. Oh, you're doing yard work already. Okay, not me. Not me. We did get our tomatoes and peppers planted though, Sydney. I do think I missed something up here. I'm gonna poke back up here for just a second. Sonia, are you feeling okay? And say, the last time I had surgery, I think I was like heavily sedated and I did not do well from anesthesia. And then I took all of the drugs they gave me afterwards. So the next day I was pretty loopy still. So hopefully you're doing well and recovering well. Good morning, Susan. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, like I said, I will put a video out later. I'm going to be honest, I'm really terrible at tutorials. I have a hard time with linear thought, and clearly a tutorial needs to be very linear. And I really don't have like a good setup where you could do like overhead shots and stuff. So I think the way I'm going to do it is a little more like come with me as I make a shrug type of situation. But the awesome thing about this is that um, it's 100% customizable. So, like, for me, it could be totally different for you. Like, I measured from my shoulder to where I wanted it to hit me, and just however many inches, and then I just made as many rows till it hit those inches. And then, same way with the sleeve length, like, I'm working on one that's got longer sleeves, like, this is 3/4, which is kinda my favorite, but I am working on a longer one, so you just literally make it as, wide as you want. You just need even numbers, for the width, you just need even numbers, because of the stitch and skip. But other than that, like, it's 100% customizable. So, and I'm sure that probably there's a million other tutorials out there on the same subject. So yeah, I'm not going to go into a ton of detail, but I am super excited. I think it'll be great for summer, and like everyone can make them. Oh, that is gross, Erica. I could think with a name like Love Bug, it would be something a little more pleasant or cute, but no. Yeah, we have cicadas, mosquitoes, and then, ticks. Like, the ticks are really bad, and they're saying this is gonna be a horrible year for ticks, because we had a really, really nice winter, and I guess it didn't kill all of them off. So, yeah, not really looking forward to that, even though I love summer and spring. Good morning to the thrifty crocheter. Welcome. I see that you're new. Thank you very much for joining us. I appreciate that. Thrifty Crocheter, do you have a channel I can go check out when I get off of this? Sometimes people's like usernames sound like their channels, but then you go there and it's not a channel. So I don't always know. Yeah. So, dream a little dream. I'm up near Mason City, so, yeah, I don't know what we're gonna get. I think we're supposed to get a little more rain later, so I'm glad you're safe, Erica. Well, we're assuming you'll be safe, so, yeah, I'm glad you're kind of out of the path of destruction. Oh my gosh, Erica, that's even grosser. That's so funny. That is funny and disgusting. I am not into bugs at all, so that's funny. Okay, ticks in West Virginia. Yeah, it's I have dog, and we have to do like a nightly tick check just when he comes in. And I actually had an incident where it's not a big deal. It was not a big deal, but it just grossed me out so bad where um I was on like a day date with my husband, and he had taken me to a thrift store, and I was in there for like an hour, and then we came out, and I was like, I need to pop into the Dollar Tree. And so we went in there, and then I was getting out, and I looked down and I was like, what's in between my pinky toe and my ring toe? And I was like, whoa, it was a tick, and it was connected. And so I sent him into the Dollar Tree to get tweezers, and he was only in there like, I don't know, 2 minutes, but it was like the longest 2 minutes of my life because I just was staring at the gross thing, but got it off. It wasn't a big deal, but it's just I hate having to be hyper vigilant for ticks. Good morning, Jocelyn. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yeah. I don't have a lot of good thrift stores in my area for yarn. My issue is I'm rural, so I have to drive about like 30 minutes to an hour in any direction to get anywhere. And there is one thrift store that's about 40 minutes from me, but there's nothing else in the town other than that Dollar Tree and a Walmart. And but that one usually has good yarn, and I have gotten good deals there. But when I go like into Mason City, the thrift stores there are not good. It's like a Salvation Army and a Goodwill, and their craft departments are like non-existent. There's one thrift store there that um, sometimes it'll have nothing, but then sometimes it'll have some decent yarn, but it's not consistent. And I would say most of the time the yarn that's there isn't near as nice as that thrift store in the other direction. Like, a lot of times it is, like, half-used balls of Super Saver or, just something like that. But, yeah, I love checking thrift stores for yarn. I mean, I examine it pretty well. I will sniff it. I don't care if I look like a crazy person. Okay, that is helpful. Yeah, I think you can get, hemp lotion about anywhere now, so that's good to know. Good morning, Roxana. So, have you been working on anything right now? I feel like this time of year can be tough for crocheters because it's starting to warm up pretty much everywhere. And I know, like, it's been warm for you, Erica, for a while, but it's starting to warm up. And I think sometimes it's harder to get in that mindset of like, "Oh, I want a big, heavy, warm blanket sitting on my lap," or, "Oh, I wanna make a sweater." Um, so I just kinda wonder, like, I mean, is that something I feel like I mean, my channel is pretty young and pretty small, but I feel like I definitely get more views on videos when it's colder, and, like, I crochet all year round, but I think, like, yeah, the stuff you wanna crochet is a little bit different, and, yeah, not really wanting to do big projects. I don't know if that's just me. I've got a notification I need to get rid of here. This is the second time I am streaming on StreamYard, so I am still, trying to get the hang of it a little bit, and, I do like it better than when I was streaming straight out of YouTube Studio. So I like that it's, like, a horizontal and, like, the normal layout, and it does have a little bit more features, so, I do like it, but, yeah, it is taking a little bit more getting used to in that aspect. Yeah, that is a really good idea, like a summery dress, a drapey dress. Um, yeah, and that will use a ton of yarn. So that is a really good idea. Jocelyn is working on a blanket. That is awesome. Like I said, I just sometimes struggle. My house is like 120 some years old, so we don't have central air. We have window air conditioning. So like some areas of my house are very nice and others are extremely hot. Um, so I do have to kind of yeah, be a little more mindful. I am thinking about doing another blanket. I have got 5 skeins of jumbo yarn, um, like the big jumbo yarn, and I had previously done like a hand knitted blanket, and I just felt like because of my inexperience on it, I did not necessarily, have the best technique, and I didn't feel like the construction was great. A lot of that was user error. I used a great tutorial, um, but I just didn't feel like it was lasting. I felt like the weight of it was pulling, and some of it, I think could have been the yarn I used. I don't know. I had used a Mainstays one, but I have some that I got on clearance for Hobby Lobby, and I've recently seen a video where the gal doing it. I can't think of what her channel name is right now, but I have it saved. She did. really big granny squares out of it, and I'm contemplating buying a few more, of those skeins of that because I have 5. I, have to buy the other ones at regular price, not on clearance, but the Hobby Lobby does still carry that particular, it's like the baby one, and they've got, like, a green and a gray. I got the tan that they discontinued, and there's, like, lavender and yellow, but I'd want it a little more neutral. But yeah, I'm really considering making that blanket because I think that it wouldn't take as long. And if I was doing the granny squares, it wouldn't be so much on my lap. So we'll see. I might get onto that. Yeah, I can definitely definitely relate to that. If you're not familiar with Iowa, like I love Iowa, I really do, but we just have such extreme seasons. And it seems like our spring and our fall don't last nearly long enough. It's just like extreme heat and humidity in the summer and then like frigid Arctic cold in the winter. So yeah, I contributed one of the reasons that I failed on my temperature blanket, to the fact that I started it in January and I was using multiple yarns like held together, well, two for the high and the low. But I was doing it up here in my yarn room, and it was just like the coldest room in the house. But I felt because of the multiple balls of yarn, I couldn't take it downstairs where it was warmer because my cat would go nuts over the yarn, so it made it so unpleasant, like, it was such an obstacle for me to be up here in this room, and since I wasn't really enjoying my project anyway, that yeah, I had to I had to just stop. Yeah, so that's kinda like the joke here in Iowa too, you don't dare leave your can of pop in your car because it will explode on you. Yeah, that is cold. I can see why you wouldn't wanna hang out there. That's that's bad. I don't think it got that cold, but I think it was, like, maybe in the 40s in this room, so Oh, okay. Roxanne is in Oregon. So I feel like I know you're further north than us, but I feel like I've heard that just because of the coast that it doesn't get quite as cold there. Like it's a little more pleasant, but it must still be warm if you're having to work on small type of projects. Cece's Cozy Corner working on catnip blueberries and sun hats. I don't know what a catnip blueberry is, I'm sorry, but I love a good sun hat. I've got a couple projects I kinda want to get buttoned up here, but I've become obsessed with the shrugs, so I have kinda put aside some of the other ones, which, um, I don't know, my pile of whips is getting bigger, and I have not so much whips, but they're, like, nearly FOs, where I've got a little pile over here where I've just got things that need seams, sewn in and fringe added, so yeah, I really need to get that. It's on your Instagram. Okay, I will check that out. Is it the same name there, Cece? I'll do that after. Sorry. Um, yeah, that is totally true, Erica. Yes, we definitely need supplies in the wintertime. You want blankets, you want like candy bars and protein bars, you want water, extra clothes. Yeah. So it's about a 20-minute drive for my husband and I to get to work and 20 minutes home. And yeah, I probably in the wintertime I have a tote in there. I mean, like, obviously, we can't live in our car, but I think I have, like, enough supplies for us to be in there a couple days. Nothing has ever happened, but it's just so cold. You have to be prepared, like candles, the little, uh, what do you like, the little chemical hand warmer things, like you break and put in your pockets, like, all of that you have to have. I would think though in Florida, you'd probably have like wouldn't you have like the opposite, like hot weather stuff, like water and stuff maybe? I don't know. Okay, yes, I will check that out, Cece. Yeah, I don't post a lot on Instagram. I'm really trying to get better about it. Instagram was kind of like a practice for me before I started YouTube, like just getting used to uh putting pictures of myself online. Like I had never taken a selfie and then, you got to hold up your product. um but yeah, it was kind of an awkward intro into YouTube for me to practice. And so that would be a tip I have if anybody is like wanting to start a YouTube channel but feeling a little nervous about it. Just start posting on Instagram or posting more, change it to a crochet channel if it's a personal channel, and start putting your projects up and just kind of get used to that before going on YouTube, just as a warm up. But yeah, I am trying to get better about posting some stuff on there. It's just not as much of a priority. But that's what I always say. You can always, like, if you ever want to chat, send me a DM on there. Okay, Roxana, it sounds like, yeah, our summers are probably pretty similar. But yeah, your winters are a little more mild. That actually sounds like that. Like it sounds crazy, but that would be amazing. Getting down to like only being in the 20s in the winter would be amazing. We It doesn't happen for a long period in the winter, but the past, I don't know how many years, as long as I can remember, we've had like a couple days or like, 2 days or 4 days where it has gotten so cold that with the wind chill and the cold that it is like 20, 25, 30 below zero. Like you could definitely die from being out there. So when that happens, like a lot of the things here close down. Thankfully, like our schools and a lot of like municipal places just to keep people at home do close. So yeah, actually, yeah, 20. Like if we could have a 20-degree winter, that would be amazing. Maybe I need to move. Oh, shoes. That's a good idea, Erica. A thrifty crocheter working on a blanket and a floppy hat. I have a bunch of floppy hats, but I have never actually crocheted one. Ah, Lisa, good morning. Um, Lisa has a channel where she does sound therapy, and she is a friend I know here in Iowa. And she actually pushed me to start my YouTube channel because she knew that I wanted to do it. And I was carrying videos on my phone for probably like a month or two, and I was too scared to post them. So, yep, she just kind of like pushed me over the ledge and forced me to do it. And I am so so thankful for you, Lisa, for doing that. I'm thankful for you for a ton of reasons, but that that as well. I am super conflicted about the Hobby Lobby sale. I had like a crisis of character. I don't know what it was. So I was like, I have a video I actually just filmed, so I think it's going to go out Monday, and it is about me trying to overcome my like scarcity mentality, and just kind of how I grew up not having a lot, and I have overcompensated for that um, by having a lot of stuff, just because I'm insecure about not having food and stuff like that, even though I don't have a reason to. But yeah, so I have this dilemma going on about if I'm going to try to hit the Hobby Lobby sale or not. I have a sizable gift card in my possession, and I have been trying to decide whether I'm going to wait and try to hit the sale or just spend it on some things I love. But now that it's June and the sale usually happens in June, I'm even more torn. So, but yeah, if you are not familiar with the Hobby Lobby sale, um, that Dream a Little Dream is talking about. They are so amazing if you are trying to build your stash. All of the yarns immediately go 75% off, and they go quick. But the issue is, Hobby Lobby does things a little bit different. So they're given a list and they're given a day it has to be marked down by. And then it's just all based on their staffing and all that stuff, and they don't use barcodes, so it's not like when one marks down you can go, and if yours don't have clearance stickers you're paying full price. So you do just have to kind of wait and chance it and go back a bunch of times. So I mean there is like that thrill of the hunt as well. um I feel like it has been instrumental in me, getting a bunch of yarns and learning what yarns I like and don't like. That was a big deal for me, is that, to feel like if I had, like, I just bought these big twist, and to me, this is kind of an expensive cake of yarn. It was like $9, but I got it on sale for 6 something. I'm sorry, I'm drinking coffee. I apologize. But if I used this on a project that I hated and I frogged it and it like got all fuzzy and gross, I would be very disappointed that I like ruined an expensive ball of yarn. So when I can pick up yarn that is, um, let's see if I can grab one like this, I got on sale. So this was a more expensive one, but it was $2.49 for this 8 ounces of soft and sleek, super bulky. Um, it is just great for getting those and trying those. The downside is they won't be carried again. Like there could be other colors that they still carry, but that colorway will not be there at all. So it is a little tricky sometimes to make sure you get enough or know what you're doing. But yeah, it's been wonderful for me. I so this is like a totally dorky situation, but I had had my husband a couple years ago drop me off at the Hobby Lobby sale, and then I was so excited with the yarn I purchased, and I had texted him, and I was like, "Okay, I'm checking out," and he's like, "Okay, I'll check out of the store I'm in. I'll come and pick you up." And I was so excited, and I even talked to an employee on the way out. I had put my sunglasses on while I was in the checkout line, then talked to an employee, walked outside, was sitting on the bench waiting for him to pull up. I waited maybe 4 or 5 minutes. It wasn't long, but people were driving by, and I noticed they were kind of looking, and I had 4 giant bags because I had like the big jumbo yarn. Like I had bought in a lot, but then it was like large yarn, so it looked like an insane amount of yarn. And I thought that's why people were staring at me. And then my husband pulled up and he's giving me like a really weird look. And I get in the car and I get my yarn in, and he tells me that one of the lenses was out in my sunglasses. So I was literally like nothing in one side, and the other side had a dark sunglasses lens. And I didn't even notice because I was on such a bargain shopper's high from the yarn. Yeah, that was pretty embarrassing. Like, I couldn't believe I was sitting there like that, and I talked to an employee, so that was just the worst. Yeah, that would be the Hobby Lobby sale gone wrong, I guess. Erica, I did not like, my store did not have any, yarn markdowns in March, so I don't know. Yeah, that -50 will get you, won't it? As far as the best place to find project and pattern ideas, I feel like that's so tough because, um, so much of that depends on what you're looking for. Um, you know, and I have been torn before because I am a bargain girl. So I like getting free patterns, but sometimes I feel like if there's a project that you're pretty serious about, or it's something that is gonna be a little more important, not just like a fun, practice piece. Sometimes I do feel like it is better to go to a site and pay for a pattern and check, like, the ratings, see how many people have done it, see what they rated it, see um, if there's criticism, see then if the pattern designer has, put anything down in the comments saying they've altered it. Because I do think that it does pay sometimes to have it vetted better. um so yeah, definitely any of the paid sites. I've looked on, I think Hobie or Hobby, I don't know how to pronounce that. They have a lot of free patterns. I have downloaded quite a bit of those. I did get a couple years back, Mary Maxim had a weekend where they were doing their digital downloads were 25 cents. So I got a ton of those. But I went through a lot of their like vintage ones, but have yet to actually do any of them. But it was kind of a cool resource to get some that were really, 40, 50 years old. But yeah, I would say to really just look around and find out, like, if you have favorite YouTubers you watch, like if you're like really into amigurumi, for example, find out where they get their inspiration from. I would be jealous of not getting snow every year, 100%. Yeah, so dream a little dream. I have asked Hobby Lobby employees that too, and I have found that some of them have no idea like what I'm talking about. It's weird because I feel like there's like this I mean cult isn't the right word, but like a cult following of all the yarny YouTube people, and we get so into the sale, and then like yeah, the employees really aren't into it. It's just like another day at work, and it's just another department. Like it's to them, it's the same as marking down the stationery department. They don't care at all. Because I have called the store because I'm far enough away, like an hour away, that I've called to see because I don't want to drive up for nothing. And yeah, I've talked to employees that literally had no clue what I'm talking about at all. Yeah, that's the thing, Erica. It's like it's good that they have it. I think I'm going to be in a town with a Hobby Lobby today, so it's going to push my resolve a little bit more. I guess that'll depend on if it's a 30% off week or not. I don't even know, because I won't buy any yarn if it's not a 30% off week. But if I'm up there, I may just go buy the yarns that I was really interested in and just skip it. Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. I don't know. Dream a little dream. I don't know. Was that me? Um, it's not Hush. It is Prism. So it's pretty new. I had seen Crafting Kitty show this one in this color. This is Tiger's Eye. Um, and sorry, I'm not good at getting it. There we go. So it's Tiger's Eye, and I had thought that with a name like Prism, it would be very colorful. This is the only like neutral one I think that they had. But it spoke to me enough that I did order it. I did have a very nice gift card from my daughter, so it did kind of take the edge off of paying for a more like expensive yarn. Yeah, I feel you, Roxana. I really do. Yeah, it's I see videos sometimes from the annual sale where people are able to, like they drive past a Hobby Lobby on their way home from work, so they just pop in or something like that, and I'm always like, "Oh." So yeah, being an hour away, it does just add an extra little level in there. Yeah, yarn chicken. It gets us, doesn't it? Oh, the mellow shine. I'm trying to remember which one that was. I think I had like one that was like kind of a purpley mauvey color. Is it kind of like almost like a thicker Simply Soft? Was that was that kind of like what it was, or am I totally off base on that? But golden copper sounds absolutely beautiful. Yeah, that's tough. To if something is marked down in clearance, it's like, how much do you buy? What do you do with it? Or do you buy just like a complete boatload of it, as much as you can if it's something you love? It's hard to know, I'm, talking to Peekaboo. It's hard to know what to get other people. I do know that, like, a lot of younger people, my daughter is in her mid-20s, she's totally into doilies. Like, she, like, picks them up at thrift stores, she uses them, she rotates them. I think a lot of younger people, do really appreciate the handiwork. They, really, I don't hear a lot of people using the word cottagecore anymore, but I mean, that's definitely a style that that age group is really into and I think identifies a lot with. So, I mean, I think that's a safe bet. Happy Saturday to you too, April Lee. That is nice that your boyfriend will check for you. I I I mean, I would say I think my husband would, but it doesn't make sense because we'd be going together, if we're in that town. Well, he does go up sometimes by himself. He probably would if I was like, "Can you go and pick something up specifically for me?" I think he would, but I don't think he would, like, randomly pick up stuff for me because I think he wouldn't feel confident in his yarn selection skills. Oh, Susan, yeah. Lake Superior. That I have seen pictures from up there in the wintertime where the waves have come up and like frozen up on the shoreline and it's like covering cars. Yeah, you guys do have it rough up there. I think I'm too soft to live there. I don't think I'd make it. Like you have to be tough to live up there. See you later, Erica. Thank you for joining us. I appreciate it. Susan is working on Tunisian crochet pullover sweater. Um, I have never done Tunisian crochet. Sweet Pea Sid, I don't know if she's still in here or not. She has a lot of really, really good stitch tutorials for Tunisian, and she keeps telling me that she's going to convince me to do it. So if somebody can, it'll be her. But it does seem challenging, and I think that once I got the hang of it, I don't think it would be tough, but I'm a little like about it at the moment, but I've got supplies, like I've got hooks. So I might have a book, I'm not sure, but someday it is on my list. I'm halfway there. I have hooks. Oh, that does sound really pretty. I love those fall colors. Um, Yeah, and I don't know, yeah, if you've already checked eBay, d does Ravelry have, like, a for sale thing? I'm not sure. Yeah, I would say maybe just keep stalking those websites and maybe something will pop up. Um, I have that six-day star blanket saved. I want to do that, because I think it looks absolutely gorgeous. I haven't gotten into it yet, but yes, that is something I want to accomplish. Um, I like if y how do I wanna say this? I really like blanket patterns where you can stop at any point. So I think something like the star blanket would work in that because if you do get to a point, sorry, I feel a sneeze. Excuse me, sorry. um Something like that where if you ran out of yarn or you got really tired of it, you could stop and it would just be a much smaller. That is why I do love like a granny in the round, like a scallop in the round, anything like that, where if I decide to give up, it can be a lap blanket or a baby blanket instead of like a queen size blanket. Where like if you're doing a corner to corner, you are married to that pattern, like you have to finish it. So I think that like an in the round is also great, if you don't know how much yarn you have of something, so that yeah, you can be like, well, I guess this is going to be my last row. But I do like blankets. I just have trouble when it's really hot and humid getting the motivation to do it. Oh, that'll be pretty. I haven't done mosaic crochet either. I don't know if you know Kristen crochets. She has like some really pretty mosaic ones. They're not patterns she designed, but they're ones she did, and they look so pretty. Like it really does. I think it just requires, like, a ton of counting, right? Like a ton of counting, and I have the problem where I space out a lot. I hate to say it, my attention span isn't great, so I do kinda struggle on something where it is an absolute necessity to count. Yeah, and single crochets, yeah, um, they are slow. It does take a long time. I think I've, like, started things and then been like, "Oh my gosh, I can't handle this." Like, you feel like you've been crocheting forever and you only made it, like, this far. Okay, so a granny cluster, alright, with the triple crochet front post. Oh, that'd be pretty, yeah. I love posts, I do, I think they're always so pretty in blankets. Like I said, if I do one, it's gonna be that one with the bulky, or with the jumbo yarn in the granny squares, and I'm not certain it'll work out. The video I saw, it looked great, but you know how that goes. Good morning, Lisbeth. We got another aisle in here. Is it super gloomy over there for you too? Yeah, I agree. I love, especially love like doing the brim in a hat in post. I think that looks so good. I just like the texture, and I do think it like just differentiates it a lot. And it's really not that hard. I mean, it took my brain because I had done so many front posts. It did take my brain a little while to be able to do the back post, but it's not any problem now. But I just think it looks so pretty too, do them back and forth. I'm sorry about my voice. I apologize. Well, that's it for my coffee. That's gone. So, so it is rainy in Indiana. Yeah. We just can't seem to get away from it. Like almost every day has been raining, at least part of the day. So the grass is green. I mean, it looks beautiful finally, but it's not super convenient. I did, come up with an idea too. I have got a basket. It's not a basket. I don't know why I said that. A bag that I made out of macrame cord. It's like plasticky, kind of plarny. And I've had this forever. Like I swear it's like almost been a year. And I even made a strap for it, but haven't attached it. And I was kind of on the fence about what I wanted to do with it. But I saw a different bag. I'm having trouble getting the reverse of the camera, sorry. I had seen somebody make a bag, I don't know if it was on Instagram or YouTube, and it was like a normal bag, like, made out of cotton, it wasn't made out of this. Maybe I'm combining my idea with their idea. I'm sorry, I feel like I'm losing it this morning. Anyway, the point of it being is I saw a beautiful sunflower made out of cotton yarn, and I was like, I should either copy that and do it like they did on a bag, or I should just add it to my bag. I don't remember which it was. I'm getting confused. But I thought that that might make a really cool closure for this is to yeah, have I feel like it was a sunflower coaster maybe that I had seen, so I would definitely have to make it, like, twice as big, but to have, the center of it here and then have, like, the petals coming down, I thought that would make a cool closure. So, I did not need another project on my table, but I don't know. It would be good just to finish that off. Oh, so I am wearing, I got my shrug done. I'm working on a few others in different yarns, but this is the one in that Super Saver. So it's just like, I don't know, I guess you could call it like a bolero. So I'm really having trouble with the with the reverse. But yeah, you just sew it up here when you make your openings. So super easy. I'm gonna have a video on it, but it's not like a tutorial video because it would be different for everybody. It's just double crochet and chain spaces, and then you literally just measure however you far you want it to go on your wingspan, and that's how many you do your chain. You just do it in an even number, and then you just measure how long you want it, and that's how many. So super easy. Like you can make this in a couple hours. I mean, depending on how fast you are and how big the yarn is and how big you want it. So I'm excited about it. Like I've made 3 already, so I'm gonna keep going. Yeah, I need a certain amount of coffee to be functional. I have cut it down. I try to just do like 2 cups, because I used to be like where if there was coffee in a pot, I would just continue drinking it, and then I would wonder why I had trouble sleeping at night. So it's seems obvious, but, you know. Rug yarn would be a good idea for bags. Um, that's the thing. I have struggled with some bags where I've made them and I've thought they were cute, but then it's like if you put anything in them, they just all stretch out. So then I'm like, okay, I have to add a lining, which then adds a whole nother obstacle and a whole nother step. So um it's kind of a like, what do I want to do? um, but yeah, the Plarn worked great because it does not stretch at all. I can see where rug yarn would, yeah, it'd be real stiff. Was it hard on your hands though when you were working with it? Do they still have that cotton and linen, or was that one that was discontinued? I can't remember. I don't know if I've seen it there, but I remember seeing people haul it before. Thank you, Elizabeth. I appreciate that. Thank you. Discontinued. That's what I was thinking. Yeah. Um, there are, I mean, obviously it would not match up with the colors you have at all, but I don't know if you have checked out drops yarn before. So I ordered it from a couple different places, but I would recommend the Wool Warehouse, and it's a company in the UK, but the shipping was reasonable. It was like $6 shipping is all. So I didn't think that was bad because I've ordered from Hirschner's and I think it's cost me 10 or 12. And that's one state away. So I didn't feel like $6 from the UK was bad. But the drops yarn, um, this isn't linen. This is it's either cotton or mercerized cotton. The balls are pretty small. They're all like 50-gram balls, I believe. Um, but it is pretty inexpensive. Like I want to say I maybe paid like $2 for this, and it is really nice cotton. It's really fine. And I have noticed that they have fibers that are like fiber blends. Like I think it's the Bell that I have. That might be a linen. I'm sorry. I'm going to go off screen and grab that real quick. Sorry about that. Got to see my pajama pants maybe too. Okay, yeah, so this Bell Drops is, sorry, I have to like put it out here to see. It's, yeah, this is 53% cotton, 33% viscose, and 14% linen. Um, I mean, it's definitely probably like a 2 weight. It's pretty fine there. Um, Maybe a 3 weight. It's got a little bit of texture to it. I think this is the color teddy bear is what they had it on the website. But again, I only paid like $2 or under for this ball. And what is there? There is 131 yards in it. So not a ton, but it does seem to be like a nice quality. So maybe check those out for a nice cotton linen blend. Thank you. Hello in Germany. Thank you for joining us. So it is the afternoon there. It's fairly early morning here. Thank you for watching the video too. I'm glad I went live then. Do you do a lot of yarn browsing? And what is it like, what type of yarn do you have available in Germany? Yeah, kind of a spontaneous thing to go live. I mean, I did plan it a couple days ago, but I was just like, maybe I'll do it." Yeah, tea is definitely fine, that's funny. Borders or no borders, it totally depends. On a blanket, I do like it because it's like satisfying for me to see a nice crisp corner. Like this project I did not put any borders on at the bottom either. Um, but I made one where I did put a border on it because it was a solid color. And I mean, it did have a little bit different look where I feel like this one is a little bit more delicate looking, where that one just seems a little more solid. So I think this would be a little more drapey without, without the border. I would say a lot of personal preference to it, and also how much yarn you have left. A lot of times though, like I'm kind of a low contrast person, so if I put a border on a blanket, a lot of times it is like one of the colors or the same color. I don't generally do a lot of contrasting ones. I know Erica from It's Time for Yarn, she had to leave already, but um, I know with her, she says she always likes to do dark colored borders on blankets, especially if it's for a child, because, if you're grabbing that blanket and pulling it up, sometimes our hands are like oily or dirty or whatever. And especially kids, you don't know what they have on their hands. So she says just for her, when she does it, she likes dark color borders. Yeah, the yarn is like, for having linen in it, it is pretty soft. So yeah, I do recommend it. I think it is worth a try if you're looking for a linen blend one. And in general, I really liked the Wool Warehouse. The downside is that it's not the same, like you can't track it the same as you would with Joanne. You're not getting those continual updates because it goes through their, like, the Royal Mail, then it has to get here and go through customs before it goes through ours. So you're kind of just like in the dark about when it shows up. Like, it'll take like a week to 2 weeks, but that's it. But um, The drops yarn seems to go on sale pretty well continually, but they have, like, different varieties of it on sale at different times. I've got a video, and I think it's called, like, "What I Paid for Yarn from the UK," and I go over, like, the cost of the different ones that I got. So, yeah, if you're curious about some of the different yarns they have, check that out. You do browsing and shopping? I hear you. Me too. Yeah, and I have heard that a lot of those crafting supplies are a lot more expensive in Europe, and I know, like, also Australia deals with that a lot, and just the cost of goods in general, I think, can be a lot more expensive overseas, than here. We are very fortunate about that for sure. I definitely don't take that for granted. I had heard, Litsa from Coco's Crochet talking one time, and I don't remember what yarn it was, but it was like, it was one we have here. It was like a cake yarn. I think it was like a Caron cake of some sort, and, for her to buy it at, I think Spotlight might be the store in Australia, like their big craft store. It was like 30 bucks for something that was like 11 here. So, yeah, I mean, we do have it good. Like, like, I was griping about paying 6.50, you know? But I do know we do have it good. Yeah, the humidity is bad. It really is. I had to have my air conditioner at work going full blast, and then it would be so cold, but the minute I turned it off, you'd just feel sticky. Yeah, I'm looking into the anti-pilling as well. Especially for since I'm getting more into wearables, I think it's important because I don't want, like, it really pilly in the armpit or like other areas that would get a little more friction. So I am definitely looking at some anti-pilling. And I do know, like, just on hand, like, that all of us would have immediate access to. I know Walmart has an anti-pilling in their mainstays, but a very, very limited color. But to check it out, that might be worth it. So quilting supplies and fabric are more expensive there. Is there not enough manufactured there maybe? I wonder what it is. I'm glad you can get it from here though. Yeah, I've noticed, like, here, there's definitely a difference. I don't quilt. I can sew, but not like garments. I'm very, very basic. But I have gotten fabric like from quilt shops, but then I've also bought it from like a big box store. And yeah, it's definitely more expensive at a quilt shop. But I found like just the amount of, prints and different stuff available, for what I wanted and what I got, I felt like it was worth it. I had gotten at a quilt shop a couple years ago, some fabric, and it was, like, Coors beer cans. So, my husband and I had when I say we did it, my husband did it. He, like, fixed up a vintage camper for us, and then I came in after all the hard work was done and, like, decorated it. So I say we did it, but, you know. But I had bought this, Kors fabric and made a pillow out of it, and, like, I just stumbled on it in a random quilt shop, and I mean, it was more expensive, but I only needed a yard or 3/4 of a yard or something, but yeah, some of it was, seemed or felt expensive per yard for sure, and if you're not used to buying it and you see something that's $20 a yard, you're like, "Ugh." Yeah, the armpit thing, and I am not experienced enough, with, like, sizing. I know, Sweet Moments by Jessie, she has been, like, very open about she's done several tops by MJ's Off the Hook, I think, and she's been very, like, honest about some of her struggles as far as getting the sizing right, whether too small, too big, so yeah, I've kind of avoided that and done like things like this where you can be a lot more loosey goosey with it. But I would like to make a cool pullover or something. But yeah, I definitely have to get the sizing right. Yeah, I don't want to feel like I'm like like I need to be able to do this. Yeah, I hear the thrift stores are great for fabric, I think. At least like, the ones that I go to that aren't the big box ones. I have had good luck at that. It's also garage sale season here in Iowa, so there's a lot of those, and I feel like sometimes you can find awesome fabric that way. Thank you, Elizabeth. It was fun doing it. I will see how much we get out this year. We did take it out on like one initial run last year, but I might just pull it up next to my house too and hang out in it for a while. Yeah, and I think that's a good idea to if you keep crocheting for cool weather and then you're prepared for it. I mean, that's kind of the thing where it doesn't always do us much good if we start a project when we need the project, unless it's a quick one. So you guys must have like a fun festival then where you're at. I feel like up here we don't have a lot of good festivals. Yeah. At least none people really come to. Christmas gifts, yeah. Well, and I think what is it like once you get to that 6-month mark, like you really, if you're making Christmas gifts, you need to be on it by then. So yeah, that's good that you've got a good start already. I waited and it was like mm, December and I was making some stocking caps for people for Christmas. So they were quick, but it was also kind of like, am I really going to get this done or not? And I did have to like opt to not put some pom poms on just to be done. So you are on it. That is so awesome. Yeah, no, I am not remotely prepared at all for any. I haven't even given it any thoughts yet. So that is awesome. Sorry, I'm having a little yarn avalanche so that yarn started falling. I'm not gonna fix it. Oh my gosh, 90 more. So you're doing 120 frogs in total? That's awesome though. Is it like the little leggy frogs that are so popular? Yeah, it would help to have more time for sure, for sure. I would definitely say give it a shot to crochet some clothing. Start with something easy that doesn't require a lot of sizing. I feel like that MJ's Off the Hook channel, and you can get her patterns. She has a lot of really pretty and I wouldn't say easy, but like more intermediate skill level. So maybe check that out if you're wanting to do like some tops or pullovers. I've never done like bottoms. I see patterns for shorts and pants, and I'm just not doing that. I'm just not. That's not my thing. So but yeah, check out MJ's Off the Hook if you're like wanting to maybe check out because I think hers are pretty accessible for someone who hasn't done clothing before. A squatty frog. Okay, I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah, hexagon cardies, that is a really good one, to try out, like and that's definitely beginner friendly, for sure. I've got half of one here that needs to be sewn together, so I can lift that up. Yeah, so if you're not familiar, this would be a great project to start with. So you just make a hexagon. This is a solid one, and then you fold it into a certain shape so it makes like a T, like a sleeve. I'm not folding it right here. Sorry. Here we go. So it makes a T and then you sew them together. That is a really great beginner friendly project too. And you can make it as big as you want. I like mine cropped. I'm like shorter and curvier. And I found that I like them a little more cropped because I tend to wear a lot of like dresses and skirts at work that are I pull a little higher on my waist. So I like them cropped, but you can make them as big as you want and as cozy as you want, and you don't have to worry about sizing and fit as much with something like that. So you can just concentrate on the process of making a wearable. With that, definitely maybe look at like a low pill or no pill yarn just because you'll get some friction under the arms again. But yeah, I think that would actually be a great idea to start out for a beginner project if you haven't done clothes at all before. Yeah, so that's why I started this like little shrug project because I wanted a summer alternative to a hexagon cardi. I just wanted to get the airflow going. I'm still covered, but I got the airflow. I'm sorry to hear you lost your husband. You know what? We have to adapt sometimes. Yeah. If the safety pins are working, I would keep going with it. Good. I'm glad. Yeah, magic circle. That I mean, that's something that it really is up to people. I don't think it makes any difference if you do the chain or the magic circle in the project. I really don't think it makes a difference at all. But definitely personal preference on what you like. Yeah, and some yarns, it's like impossible to pull it without it breaking. So yeah, chenille. That is about impossible, I feel like, because it's snapped on me every time I've tried to do that. Um, I got so confused watching so many tutorials on how to do the magic circle and like all of the winding in certain reasons and do this. And then there's a crafting channel called That Southern Girl Can, and she does a very small amount of crochet on there. It's mostly like Dollar Tree crafts. But on one of hers that was crochet, she had said that a magic ring or a magic circle is basically what did she say? It's like a slip knot you don't finish. And that helped me a lot. So that's basically like how I get mine going is I just make a slip knot and then I start crocheting in it instead of like trying to wind it specifically on my hand. That's disappointing if you didn't even get to wear it. It's very disappointing. Yeah, so The magic knot. I have tried that and I was unsuccessful, and since I it didn't work perfect, I didn't try it again. So I know I need to look into that a little bit more. I'm not sure I can pronounce that. Ami Garuku? Is that right? Is that a YouTube channel? Because I will check that out. Hello, Carrie Penny. Good morning. How are you doing? Yeah, you just not all of them do work. It can be a fight sometimes for sure. You're full of coffee. I finished my second one, so I had to cut myself off. But I feel like when I go downstairs, if there's, I call it coffee scraps. Like if there's coffee left in the carafe after my husband has also drank his, I will pick up the coffee scraps. So I guess I'm not really cutting myself off, but I won't make another pot if there isn't any scraps. Thank you. Yeah, I wasn't sure like what to put out about that. I am a person who is not diagnosed, but I believe I have undiagnosed ADHD, and um my adult child was diagnosed with it, and we have a lot of the same tendencies, and everything that I've learned was completely different than what I thought it was. So it's definitely something where I feel like it is plausible that a lot of people in the yarn community maybe have some undiagnosed neurodivergence and they don't realize it, because they don't really know what it is. But you might be hyper focused on your special interest, and like a lot of us are. um, if you're obsessed with crochet, like a lot of us are. So yeah, I did kind of want to put it out there and just throw that out, because when I started learning a little bit more about that, a lot of other things in my life kind of made sense. So yeah, I will check that out. I have not found an amigurumi project that like really like speaks to me. I think they're adorable. So maybe I just need to find the right one. Good morning, Jesse. I'm glad you're here, Jesse. Oh, yeah, coffee scraps, the iced coffee. Yes, I totally get that. My yarn scraps. I have a tote that I throw them into. Sometimes, I mean, yes and no. I'm not like actively doing anything with them, and it depends how much there is left. So I have some yarn scraps right next to me here, where like this, um, I made a full hat out of it, and then this is what I have left. And I don't know, I have literally no idea what I was doing with this. um this may or may not be enough to do like a newborn hat. I have a bag where my friend and we started making like newborn caps and preemie caps for babies at our hospital. So I've just been throwing a bunch in there because I was going to wait till I got, I don't know, I don't know, 25, 30, 40, before I donated them, because you got to take it there. It's a whole thing. So if I have scraps that are like in this size, I will try to make a newborn cap out of it and throw it in there. Um, but other than that, I don't do anything cool with them. I'm not super great at scrappy projects because I get a little too focused on it not being like symmetrical and stuff. Like I did a scrappy beanie, but I planned out all the colors that were going in it. It wasn't scraps. So I know some people stuff amigurumis with yarn scraps, but I don't really make a lot. So I haven't done that. So basically, I just have a tote of random amounts at this point. Oops, I got behind on the conversation. Yeah, I've seen a lot of I haven't made any, but I have seen a lot of different fidgets that are crochet made, so that is cool. Yeah, it is genetic, so, I mean, it is a fair guess that, yes, you probably have some neurodivergence there too. Are your kids little? It's so hard for me to tell people's age, and especially from, like, pictures. I have no idea how old people are, so I don't know if your kiddos are at home or if they're grown. Yeah, it's, it is, I think, extremely helpful to have, like, something to craft and create with. I mean, it helps me with a lot of my nervous energy and being able to channel it into something positive, and it's also a good distraction, so whoops. Oh, yeah, I've had a ton of projects that I absolutely hate, for sure. Absolutely. Where you're just like or I'm in it and I'm, like, halfway through it and I already know I hate it. Yeah, so I've definitely frogged things like that, or I've let it sit in a bag for, like, a year or 2 and then frogged it. I do think it happens. Okay, I love Star Trek too. I grew up watching that with my dad, like the original series, but I like the Next Generation the best. That would be my favorite. So I actually watch those pretty frequently. So, okay, yes. So your kiddos are young. My daughter's in her mid 20s. You know, it can be stressful when your kids are that age, but next thing you know, you turn around and they're 25. So it goes fast. That would be relaxing, sitting on the porch and crocheting. Yeah, Jesse, so I did mention your frogging earlier. I hope that doesn't seem too weird. But we were talking about like the sizing of sweaters and armpits, and I had said you had been pretty honest in some of your videos about how much you had frogged a particular sweater. So yeah, we were talking about you and your frogging. I hope that's okay. Yeah, that's a good point, Carrie Penny. You know, if it's finished, yeah, you can give it or donate it to somebody who would like it. Unless it's something where you're like in love with the yarn, you know, and want to use it for yourself. But yeah, I think that's a good idea. I wondered about the Lucky Bamboo yarn. I did. There's a couple colors that look pretty cool. There was like a dark green one and like a mustard colored one that were intriguing to me online, but I did not purchase. But I hate being surprised when yarn comes and it's tiny. Like that is disappointing. Ah, rainy in Chicago. It's gloomy here in Iowa. So I don't know if we'll get what you're having. Usually I feel like it goes the other way towards you guys, from us towards you. But then again, I think it's probably supposed to rain every day. That's fun. I think he'll like that. Okay, the conversation was moving there a little bit, so I think I lost it. Sorry. Did you we're getting a little Star Trek convo here, which I'm excited about, but did you watch the Picard series that was on Paramount? That just came out the past couple years. I really liked that. I thought the first season was pretty good. The second season I was like, eh, because it was kind of set like in current time, like in 2024. Um, but then the last season, they ended up getting, like, everybody from the next generation together, and it was such a good season. So, yeah, if you haven't watched Picard on I think it's Paramount, I did enjoy those. Those were good. Okay, good, Jesse. I figured if you put it online in a video, you'd be okay with us talking about it, and it was a good video, and it was helpful. So, yeah, thank you. Yeah, I will put out a video on it. Not a tutorial, but just kind of like a come along with me as I make it because I'm making like 3 or 4 of them. It's like anybody can do this. You literally are just making a rectangle with a neck hole and then just sewing the arms together and you can make it any size. So kind of like a summer cover up an alternative so I don't have to wear a cardigan. Have a great weekend. So that's definitely his special interest for sure. I get that. Okay, that's good. So the bamboo is tiny, but it doesn't split and it feels good. That is good to know. And I guess that makes sense because like the kobu, those are really tiny little cakes too. So that makes sense. Okay, you are on the East Coast, right, Carrie Penny? Like, am I thinking like North Carolina or somewhere? I can't remember. I watched all your moving videos, but I can't remember where you went to. But I do remember you're on the East Coast. Kentucky's got rain too. Ooh, I would not be able to handle the hundreds. I gotta ease into that, and I'm not good at it when it happens anyway. Ooh, new puppies. That is fun. But that's a lot of work. That's like having a newborn. Like We don't have cable. We just have an antenna on our house and then we do streaming. Um, I don't like like I know some people just like having it on and having the background noise and I don't like that. I would rather just sit in silence, which makes me sound like a psycho. But yeah, I we just do streaming and then it's like just when we want what we want. Oh good. I'll look forward to your review. Yeah, I suppose if your husband's a Trekkie, you're kinda now like a Trekkie by default, right? Whether you want to or not. That would be my husband. He's more like Star Wars. Good morning, Pam. So you do like the Kobu too, or I'm sorry, the, Lucky as well. Whoops, I got lost the chat there again for a second. Okay, so here's the thing. I used to also hate cropped. I did. Because I am definitely curvy and I am short. Um, I was 100% with you. But I have like I'm wearing my pajama bottoms still because I was just lazy this morning. But like if I was gonna wear this like the rest of the day, I would put a skirt on, but I always put them like up here, like so my belly My belly button's here. So I usually wear my skirt like up here because it's a little bit smaller there. I don't like putting it at the widest part. So for me, I've actually found I liked the cropped cardigans and cover ups just because then it's not adding a bunch more bulk in that area. Just saying, maybe give it a try. You might find you like it. Like I said, I'm not a small girl, so South Carolina. Okay. Whoops. I don't know why this keeps bumping on me. I apologize. You need the snow. I get that. I get that. Thank you so much, Maria. That is very thoughtful. I really appreciate that. Thank you for your support. So I'm not a psycho for sitting in silence. That's good to know. It's just sometimes it's just too much clutter on the outside. It's just too much stimulus. Yeah, 310 yards does seem pretty good. Okay, yeah, I can see that. I have one cat and one dog, and they are always like roughhousing. So yeah, the two are quite a bit of noise, so I can see that. Oh, Jesse's a Star Trek watcher by default too. Yeah, I don't know. Like I remember being like a teenager and I was like embarrassed about liking it, but I've just embraced it now. I'm like, whatever. Susan, so I would not say that I design my own patterns. I have a horrible habit of winging things. So, like, I guess that's kind of designing, but it's more like I I just jump into something and see if it works, and sometimes do a lot of frogging. uh, if that makes sense. I am pretty sure you could find anything like this online. There's probably been a bunch of them like this already. I didn't watch a tutorial for it. And then my bag, I pretty much do the same type of pattern for every bag. So I don't know if you can see it here, but like basically I just chain however many I want for the bag to be wide. And then I go ahead and do either single or half double crochets, depending on what it's made out of. This is like plastic yarn. So I had to do singles. It was just too difficult. But then I single crochet up the chain. Sorry, I'm really having trouble with the mirrored screen here. I single crochet up the chain, and then in the last stitch, I put 3, and then I go down the other side of the chain and single crochet 3 in that end spot. So, I just keep going around like that. So, it would be like this. I keep going around until I get to the spot where I don't want to increase it anymore. And then I just go completely round and don't add the extra threes and then just take it straight up. So, it's not hard. Some yarns work better for this than others. This worked really well, I thought, because it was so stiff, but it is hard on your hands. Um, and then of course, you want something where, like that works with the pattern because you are going in the round. But yeah, I just do a lot of winging it and a lot of failing. So he collects critters. Thank you, Elizabeth. I appreciate that. An attempted bribe to do more lives. I really, it's just up until recently, I was kind of scared to do them. Um, not because not because it's scary, but it was more so I didn't feel confident with the technology aspect of it. Um, I don't know. It to me, I get intimidated when I don't know how to do something. But I will admit, switching from YouTube Live and instead of doing it directly from there and going through StreamYard has actually helped considerably. I can go in and, like, set stuff up ahead of time, and it actually is easier, and I feel like the quality is working a little bit better. So yeah, this is my second time doing StreamYard, and this has been phenomenally easier. So you don't have to bribe me. I probably will start doing more. um I feel like a Saturday morning, was pretty good for me time-wise. Also, I don't know, like, other times that might work for me would be, like a Tuesday afternoon or possibly like a Sunday evening. Let me know, like, what would work there, because I want it to be convenient. I don't want it to be inconvenient. Um, but during the, like, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I do like a 10-hour shift, and I gotta be honest, I'm pretty much beat at that point. Like, I don't really have much energy. So yeah, like Tuesday, Saturday, Sunday are probably my best times. I haven't done a market bag before. I have seen so many that are super cute, but I have not done one. Does anybody else have a good market bag? The purse is, it was this weird, it was like macrame cord. It wasn't yarn. Um, it is Bonnie craft cord. So, I had gotten this, at Hobby Lobby during, it wasn't during the yarn annual sale. It was, just when they were marking down, like, their craft department. So it was, like, originally $4, but I think that I paid under a buck for it. So I had picked up several of them. But it is definitely, like a plastic. What does it say it is? I'm sorry. This is why I have to edit videos, because I, like, blank out and can't read things, and it takes forever for me to find the information. I'm sorry, I don't know what this is. I apologize, but it's definitely like a plastic. Um, so it is hard on the hands. It's 4 millimeter is what it says. 4 millimeter craft cord. So I like it for bags. I thought it worked really well. It just was hard on the hands. Susan wings it too. I want things to be meaning. Like, I don't wanna waste your time. I want you to enjoy it. I just really am obsessed with yarn and love talking about yarn and crochet and how it, like, fits into my life and how it can fit in, fits into yours. So, yeah, I just really want it to be beneficial for for all of us. Okay, so Jesse is saying Rich Textures Crochet has a good amount of market bag tutorials on her channel, and Jesse made one and loved it. Yeah, so that's a good channel. I've done it, like, some hats and some scarves by her. There is solid tutorials. I think they turn out well. They seem like they've been tested well. It doesn't seem like I've struggled with understanding them. Those have been good. So yeah, check out Rich Textures Crochet, Maria. That's a good idea, Amanda. I will do that. Yeah, I will definitely do that. That's a good idea. I haven't tried the Maker yarn. I'm trying is that a cotton yarn? Maybe not. Po Polyolefin? Is that how you pronounce that? That was kind of a tough one. Girl, are you like a chemical scientist that we don't know about? Yeah, do you guys all watch Jessie's channel? It is a really good channel. She's very good at what she does, and, she's a great crocheter, and she has great taste in yarn, and, um, she has helped me out before when I've needed a tutorial and, like, my tutorials are not strong, so she, like, actually made a tutorial for me, and then I just linked to it. I was like, "Oh, if you wanna make this item, go over to Jessie's channel." So she's really good at explaining things, and she's, like, calm and clear, so, definitely check hers out. Okay, Rose Likes Crochet has another information on it. Okay. Yeah, those are good channels too, they are. There's yeah, literally anything you can find. A master's degree in Googling. Yeah, I get that, I get that. Well, and that's the thing, Carrie Penny, you're into a lot of different crafting too, so I can see where, yeah, um, you would know a thing or two. Yeah, do you guys follow Carrie Penny at the Happy Crafty Homemaker? You should check her out too. Good, awesome, Maria. Yeah, I watched her shopping video with her husband too. And here's the thing, if you haven't filmed like yourself in a store, just know it is super, super flippin' awkward. So like you're so aware of everybody walking by and you feel like such a weirdo like talking to your phone and walking by and like I've done it multiple times, but I got self-conscious in Joann a couple weeks ago because I was, like, going over the t-shirt yarn and an employee walked by, and I was like, "Oh." She didn't say anything or anything. I'm sure she probably sees that stuff all the time. And, I could have been sending a picture to a friend or something, who knows? But it is hard. And I was like, Jessie was brilliant for having her husband come with because I feel like that would alleviate so much of that tension because I would just pretend I was talking to my husband and not the camera. I don't know if that's what you did, Jessie, but that's what I would do. Pretend I'm a reporter. That's funny. I don't know. Check out the new yarn. No, I don't know. I have though, like I have a friend and she does not travel much. And so she doesn't get to go to a lot of stores. And so if I'm going to a Joann or a Hobby Lobby, she will be like, "Hey," she'll like send me a picture of some yarn and be like, "Will you do this?" And so I do have to hold it up and like take a bunch of pictures and send her like she was looking for some Bernat blanket and she's like, "I need pink and blue and light blue." But there was like 3 shades of each of these that were similar. So I'm like sending pictures of everything. So I mean, I could pretend I'm doing that. I could make a fake badge. I've also thought about wearing like a top with my logo or whatever on it, but then I chickened out. You're back to being camera shy? I get it though. It's like if you get out of the habit of it or for whatever reason, it is harder, for sure. Then I feel like I've done a couple videos where I've done embarrassing things or like I've looked really goofy. And so now I'm like, well, it can't be that bad. So I had I used to have this it's kind of like a mole, but I think it's called like a cherry angioma. It's not a big deal. It's not like cancerous, it's not whatever. But it's like a big red mole. And I did have it removed. This would be like a year or so ago. And so the dermatologist was like right next to a Hobby Lobby and it was during when they were doing the dye lot sale. So I was like, yeah, I'm going in there. And so I did. I like filmed in the store with this big old band-aid, circle band-aid on my forehead. So I'm like, now I'm just kind of like, well, I won't look any more foolish than I have at other times. It is awkward for sure. No, wait, you were serious? You were like an actual clown? That is cool. I've never known anybody who was. And you were on TV? That is super cool. Oh, but you want to avoid it now. Okay, like you had your fill. I can see that. If you're feeling the bug, you should definitely get back into it for sure. But yeah, it is a slow progress and yeah. Um, yeah. But you know what? We could do a live or something like that, just to kind of get the hang of it. Yeah, you do, Pam. You do have to take the pictures because you wouldn't want to get the fabric. But yeah, then you're in there with taking I didn't figure you were a scary clown. I figured you were a happy one. I did. But those some of those clowns are scary though. I will say that. And I feel like yeah, I don't know. Do you know there's like a whole group of like people on YouTube, like a subculture of people who dress up as clowns, like to just dress up as clowns? I don't know. Yeah, Instagram would be a great place to get started posting some content if you're wanting to get back into it, for sure. Thank you, Susan. I appreciate that. Hey, Megan. Have you guys seen Megan's channel before? Is she the channel is pretty young. But yeah, check her out. You hated the scary clowns. I believe that. I believe that because then you get like this whole like scary clown culture. Yeah, just keep making them, Cece. Just keep going, and yeah, get past that and kind of pull through a little bit for sure. You know, it's weird. I had the family stuff going on, and I took a week off, and it felt kind of weird. Like I was like, oh, I wish I was making a video right now. Um, and so it did feel weird taking the time off. And then when I went to make the next one, I was like, ugh, and that was only a week. So Carrie Penny, I didn't know this about you either. I'm learning all sorts of things today. Um, my next project, I'm working on a few more of these little shrugs, just because I wanted them for summer, so that's kind of taken over everything. And then, like I said, I might put the sunflower on that bag. And what else do I have going on? I've got a lot of stuff I just need to finish up. Um, I started making a hat and I was like, nope, I got like a couple of rows into it and I'm like, I don't have the motivation to do this as it's getting hotter right now. Thrifty crocheter. Yeah, definitely maybe check out StreamYard. You can get it all set up ahead of time. To me, that's what's made this so much more comfortable than YouTube. Or than going through YouTube to go live, is setting it up ahead of time. And it looks like you're going live when you schedule it and you set up like where I've got it saying my name down here and stuff. It looks like you are going live, but you just schedule it for later and then you leave that screen. It really did make me much more comfortable. This is it's not the softest yarn, but I absolutely love the colorway. It is Super Saver stripes in latte stripes. So probably, some would think it was a little more for fall, but It's just the colors I like. But it's not bothering me in any way. But a lot of it is because, I do have a top on underneath it. So it's not like direct skin contact, but even on my arm, it's not really bothering me at all. Oh, wow. I've never done any plays. I've never done any type of theater. Like, this is my foray into performing, I guess. Uh, Here's the thing. I know that sometimes, like, I don't feel smooth. Thank you, but I don't feel smooth. I just think that it's easier to be me, and if sometimes it's weird or whatever, that's fine. I don't try to like prepare, like obviously I try to prepare, like I have notes like what I want to talk about, but I don't try to present, I guess is what I'm saying. I would rather just be me. It feels more authentic, and if it's not optimal, that's okay. I did like quite a few years ago, like 15 years ago, with my work, I did Toastmasters, and I did not enjoy that at all, like having to talk like that. Yeah, Show and Tell Meg is also, like Erica, another Florida person, so, yeah, she's sweltering down there. Yeah, she just had a video out on making a sweater in 100-degree weather, so Yep, Jesse, you do need to do a live sometime, you really do, and if that's something where you would feel more comfortable with a partner, let me know, I am there for you. I just did double crochet, chain, double crochet. That's all this is. I mean, this is beginner friendly. Oh, kitty mats. That's a good idea. That really is. That would be a great way to use up scrap yarn too. Good morning, Yarn Barf. I love that name. That is the best channel name. 100% best channel name I've ever heard. You're so good on camera though, Carrie Penny. You really are. Like, I don't ever feel like you're awkward at all. Like, I don't know, I think you come off very authentic. Like, I enjoy it. I feel like I'm the only one who wasn't involved in theater of some sort in this group today. That's funny. Carrie Penny is the happy crafty homemaker. Sorry about that. Yeah. I actually got to be in a sweater collab with her, like, I don't know, a year ago. I was like, my channel was pretty young and I didn't have a lot of followers, and I don't know, somehow I lucked out into getting into a sweater collab, and it was Happy Crafty Homemaker, uh Fiber Fun with Olivia. She was the one that started it. And then there was Connie's Crafty Corner, and No Catchy Name Crochet. So it was just a great opportunity to meet some of these gals who had like bigger channels. I was very fortunate to be part of that. I think Connie's Crafty Corner might have been the one who kind of like was the go between, who kind of got that all. I was just fortunate that I knew Olivia. Ooh, I feel like that's everybody's dream, is to open an LYS. That would be amazing. The Hobby Lobby clearance sale, you generally don't know exactly when it is. Last year it was in April, but historically it has been in June. And so it's one of those where there isn't specific days. They are given a day they have to have all their markdowns done by. So you kind of just have to pop in and see, because it's just different per store. Yeah, I wish I knew more, but it's pretty vague. That's funny. I know, but it is hard to know sometimes people's names and channel names when they're different, for sure. Yes, Alicia at Little John Yarn. I just lost it on the chat was going, so I just kinda lost it a little bit there, but yeah, her channel is great. There is tons of great tutorials on there too. Yes, Ella's sweater was amazing. I loved that. It was so cute, and with her love of Halloween, like, that is just so perfect. LYS is, I don't know, I think it's local yarn store or little yarn store, but I think it's local. Yep, oh, yeah, local yarn shop. Yeah, if you, held off your crocheting, you probably wouldn't get much done. Yeah, Maria, yep, you just need to scope it out is all I can tell you. I have lucked out and, I have, like, shown up, like, an hour or so after they started marking things down, and then I just, like I got what I wanted, and the gal was still marking stuff down, and then I just, like, walked around the store for an hour. I mean, I seemed like a lingerer, and then went back to what else she had marked down, but I've also had it where have gotten to the store and I've totally missed the sale and it's totally picked over and there's only a few things. So, it's kind of like by luck that you get it. That would be an awesome store, Thrifty Crocheter, that really would be. Oh, yeah, I was a yarn stalker for sure. Yeah, uh-huh, 100%. 100%. Yeah, it does get picked over fast, and what I've noticed too, is that and of course, I'm doing the same thing, but, like, I've noticed, like, one time I was there and a lady had a cart that was overflowing with all baby yarn. I mean, she kinda cleaned out the baby yarn, which was I'm not buying a lot of baby yarn, I'm not really doing a lot of pastel stuff, so that's fine, and if she's gonna use it, that's awesome for her. Um but it's just one of those things where I think, like, if you go there and one of your favorite types of yarns is on clearance, they're marking it out, you just grab all of it. So, sometimes I think things get picked over. Like, I was at, the Hobby Lobby in Ames, Iowa, and they do have a local yarn store in that town, and I think that they have more people who are doing more like that type of stuff. And so when the Hobby Lobby in Mason City had they were marking hanks down, like the hand dyed wool hanks, Ames had none. Like they had none left because I think that crowd just wiped them out. Yeah, you can definitely you wanna find a manager because I have found that the employees don't really have a clue. Like, in my experience, I have called there and they don't know, like, it is best to find a manager for sure. Yeah, exactly, Meg. I have not had I've looked on Amazon for yarn and I am kind of tempted to get the yarn art flowers. I want to cuz I'm having trouble finding that other places. I know there's that place called Vilrita in Bulgaria, but the shipping was super high on that and I have a hard time pulling the trigger on like $25 shipping. So I did see some yarn art flowers on Amazon, but I haven't ordered yarn off of Amazon. I've kinda had trouble finding stuff that I've found for a good price, so that's awesome that you did get good prices. You're on a yarn diet? That's not a bad idea though either. Yeah, like I said, I don't know what my plan is for the sale. We'll see. I haven't used it, Jesse. I just it's just absolutely gorgeous. So it does make me want to try it. It really does. Mhm. Hello, Rosalind. Well, somehow it actually got really sunny out now. Like it is not dreary out at all. And my room is starting to heat up because we don't have air conditioning in here. Um, I have to figure out how I'm going to film this summer because um, I can't have the air conditioner on while filming. So I have to decide if I'm going to like try to pre-cool the room and film. We'll get it figured out, or if I have to film in a room that isn't a yarn room. So I am gonna have to hop on off of here now. Yes, it is a window unit. Yep. I am gonna have to hop on off, but I have to thank you so, so much for hanging out with me today. I really appreciate it. Thank you for the super thanks. That was amazing. I was not expecting that, but it means I can go pick up a couple skeins of yarn. I thank you so much. This was a lot of fun, and I will put that. I will put the poll in the community tab later today. Like I'll probably post that tonight, like 7 o'clock my time central. I'll post that and kind of try to get a feel of what times for lives work best for you because this was really fun and you made it fun for me. So thank you. You made it really easy. And thank you to everyone who kept the conversation going as well. That also helps me out and helps me feel a little more at ease. And thank you for sharing so much, you guys. I appreciate it. Have a great weekend. Get a lot of crocheting done. Bye.